that hurt.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Logan Schnider, if you don't already know who I am. Today, it is about that time of year again. The new 2022 line of Fuzion products just came out and we're going to be overviewing all of them. In this video specifically, as you guys know by the title of the video, I will be going over the new hybrid deck. So what I call the hybrid deck is there is now a street deck, a park deck, and a hybrid deck. The hybrid deck is the 20.5 by 5 wide Fuzion box deck. So let's grab that real quick. I grabbed my favorite color, of course. I love white and red. I think the colors go together very nicely. But right here, we have a bunch of new things going on here. A lot different from last year's. It may not look like it at first, but I'm gonna go through everything that's changed and go over the specs for all of you that don't know. So this year I'll be using my phone because I cannot memorize all these specs. There's a lot more and we went a lot more in depth on giving you guys every aspect of this deck. So I'm gonna read it off so you guys have everything perfect. Now, starting out with the actual name of the deck, it is still called the Fuzion Box deck. It's just the Fuzion Box 2.0. They didn't do V2, they did 2.0, which is a little different from what most brands do, so I already thought that was a bit interesting. The price of this deck, we'll get right into that, will be coming in at $179.99, $180 for this beauty. Getting into the actual specs of the deck, this deck will be coming in at 20.5 long by 5 inches wide. By the way, inches, so you guys know. That is the same as last year's deck, so that hasn't changed. It's still the same size. The reason why I believe this is a hybrid deck is because of this size. I think it's the most in-between size of any scooter deck. Obviously, you can ride hybrid with any size deck. You can have a 22 long and still be doing buttercups, but the length of this deck still helps get tail ups around quick enough for you to be able to do bigger tricks, while the boxed ends still help with doing the grinds. The width of the deck, the 5 wide, also helps with 50s and tricks like that, while the length is still good for overheads and all that type of stuff. An awesome thing about this deck is the weight, 3.2 pounds, which I think is very nice. They got this nice little cutout in the bottom right here, which helps with the weight a lot, and it doesn't affect the deck strength at all. Having a light deck can help with a lot of things. Again, like I was talking about, the length of the deck can help with overheads and things and such. The holes in the bottom, you know, make it a little more aerodynamic. You'll be able to tail whip faster. So if you and your friends are having a competition on who can tail whip the fastest, you will be able to. Not your friend, you will. Now, going into one of the first changes of the deck, this year's deck has more concave. It has a 5-degree concave rather than last year being a 3-degree concave, I believe. If you guys don't know what concave is inside the deck how it kind of curves, not like this, not bananaed. There's two differences. Having a banana deck isn't good. It means your deck's like this. But in the middle of your deck, there's a kind of a dip, and that helps with gripping your feet to the deck and such. That will help you catch your tail whips, catch your heel whips, catch your buttercups, and all that. So having a little bit more concave is going to help with all that stuff, and especially when you put your grip tape on, it'll catch very nicely. This year's head tube angle, which is the angle that your head tube is at, is the same as last year's, being 83 degrees. Kind of the basic head tube angle that a lot of decks have is 83 degrees, so I don't have much to say on that. I don't know too much personally about head tube angles, so I'm not going to get into depth about that. If you guys do have more questions about head tube angles, I'll be able to answer them in the comments because I'll be able to talk to people and stuff. So if you guys have any questions about the head tube angle, just comment down below. I'll reply to you and give you all that information. The next difference between this deck and last year's deck is that this deck does come with more spacers for 30mm compatible wheels, which is amazing. More compatibility means more diversity in what you can buy with the scooters. I think a big reason why they have these spacers is because Fuzion themselves have just dropped 30 wide wheels. That will be a separate video. I'm gonna make a whole video on those themselves. I will be doing a video on all the wheels that are coming out, but the new 30 wides are gonna be its own video, and I'll get into that later. Spacers, boom. 30mm compatible, so you don't have to ride the Fuzion ones if you don't want to, but the option is there for any 30mm compatible wheels. Let's get into a couple of the specs that a couple of you guys want to know. The aluminum that this deck is made out of is a 6061 T6 aluminum. Axle compatibility is M8 only. So if you guys do want to know those specific specs, there you go. By the way, I forgot to say, they are 120mm compatible. You may need to bend the brake up a little bit, if then slightly, because these are kind of like more of a flex fender type brake. You know, it's plastic, so don't like pull it back, but if you bend it up a little bit, those 120s should fit very nicely. Speaking of the brake, that is another difference of the deck this year, is the new brake design. It is still made out of the nylon steel, so the plastic with the steel on the inside, but it's a different design this time. So they just had the same brake design for a couple years and wanted to change it up. There's no big, you know, quality difference or any of that. They just wanted to change the actual look of the brake this year, so that's all that is. Now, of course, with every deck that you get on the market, this deck is the same. Everything that is included is the brake, the spacers, and the axles, so that's what will be coming with the deck. Grip tip is not included with this specific deck. Getting into the final and biggest change in this year's 2.0 Entropy is the dropouts. May I add, these dropouts look absolutely amazing. Dude, they look so sick. I'll put them up on the screen right now of how they're looking. They took our advice from last year's design with the axle and changed it up so you can get it out nice and easy. There is this kind of cool thing in the nut part of the dropout where the nut fits in perfectly and you only need one Allen key to tighten it. The way the dropout is made, you put the nut in to the part where the hole is, you drop it in, and then you just screw in the axle from the other side and it'll tighten on its own, which is really sick. Now the dropout itself is curved, which I think is super cool. I don't know how that affects grinds at all, or you know what that does, but it makes this nice slickness of look on the deck. I think it may help with 5.0s and stuff, you know, better than a box at the end. It's curved, so when you 5.0 it'll grind nice. I think they did a really good job on the dropouts this year, which is, you know, the main problem that we had with the last year's design was the back end. So great job, Fuzion, on that. Let me tell you guys one final big difference between the 2021 and the 2022 is added head tube strength. So this head tube used to have a used to have a triangle at the bottom right here in this hole, and they were having some issues with the head tube with last year's design. So we revamped that and put a bar in the middle. So triangle, if you guys don't know, is the strongest shape that exists. One triangle is strong. Two triangles is even stronger. And it's not even about having two triangles. It's about having this bar that supports the entire head tube going up. So you guys will have a lot less strength issues with this year's design. The head tube should last a lot longer this year. Also, this deck comes in two colors. Comes in white and red and black and white. Let me show you guys the black and white one. Right here is the black and white one. Looks just as nice as the white and red. It's just a preference thing. I love how they accented the deck very slightly with the white. It makes it look super sick, and black decks just fit with every colorway. So there we go, we got a black option. Now that I went over all of the specs of this deck, let's get into some riding.
Yo, what's up everyone? I'm out here at 28th and B skate park riding the brand new Fuzion Entropy 2.0. Look at them graphics. It's your boy Hunter. Took over the cam today because Logan's hurt with his elbow or something. So Fuzion's usually known for making their parts more for park riders. This deck right here is more for hybrid riders. And if you don't know what hybrid riders are riders that are trying to ride somewhat street in park but have a different style to their riding. So they're hybrid, they're not either or, they're both. That's kind of what this deck fits perfect for. It's a 5 wide by 20.5, so not too long. Perfect though for like rails, hubbas, just more grinding stuff in general, you know? And it will also be good for like whip front, buttercups, more park stuff. I'm just gonna be riding around, showing you guys some stuff about it. Little whip umbrella, bar, triple heel, double heel, because I panicked. I didn't know what to do. This deck's amazing for just cruising around, getting your style look. Nothing is waxed right now. So sticky. locked in perfect. I just did front feeble heel, locked in pretty good. It's nice having a little bit bigger of a deck. Damn, dude. It feels so balanced for air outs and stuff. Hey, yo, bro. Using the best. If you guys aren't looking for more of like a hybrid deck, they also make this exact deck in bigger dimensions for the street dogs out there. We don't talk about that. Ow, that hurt. What up? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
How are you, bud? Lincoln almost died over there. I almost landed on it. Yeah, that would be gas. Do that. Alright, I'm about to try what Lincoln said. Second tee, watch. Woo! I've already gotten like 2 new learns just now on this new deck. That's how you know this is fire. I'm enjoying this. I'm actually having a good time shredding today. It's perfect for like the style that I'm trying to work up to have in my future with the park tech style. So f***ing around on this is perfect. That was sketchy, but I'm gonna count it because I want to hit that rail. Add bar feeble this. Hit it with the nose blunt.
That will be it for today's video. That was just Hunter's segment. The reason why I had Hunter ride in that segment was because currently at that time I had a hurt elbow. I'm good now, but it was pretty bad. I had to not ride for a month, but we're back, we're riding, and the next couple of videos might still be them riding for the product overviews, but after that I will be scootering. So thank you guys for watching another YouTube video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Until the next time, see you guys. Bye.
Yeah, why you had to leave me, girl? I'ma go at the fucking deep end. Tell me what you wanted in the first place. You know, looking for no love, not committed. You be fucking seeking. You're another man, goddamn, some eternity you be sinking.